The comic book industry once had men who strived for the ideal, solid art and compelling storytelling that tackled the classic hero's journey with heart and soul. Sadly, today's mainstream comics offer but a shadow of what used to be. Unprofessional creators care less about telling tales of good versus evil than they do about deconstructing cultural icons. Enter Soulfinder, Demon's Match, a rejection of the embarrassing status quo and a call for the return of serious storytellers. People have wondered for ages, why do bad things happen to good people? That is a question Father Patrick Redder, a Catholic priest wounded in combat in his youth, must grapple with when a series of supernatural events leads him to battling with demons. What a setup. Be careful what you ask for when you tell people to write their own comic books, because someone like Doug Ernst might bring his AAA game. Doug is pulling no punches with Soulfinder Demon's Match. This is the cover. It's by Dave Dorman. You may not know the name, but you know the art. This, and this, and this is Dave Dorman. Yeah, Doug got that guy to do the cover for Soulfinder Demon's Match. Now, how do you match that with the pages? With this. Just stunning. Absolutely stunning. So evocative. You don't need any words. The image alone does everything. You can hear his scream. You can feel the fire. You've already got Judas Priest rising from ruins playing in the background. The picture says everything. You don't need any words. No screen, no captions. You put that on a separate page. On a black page with captions explaining the setup, then boom. No words needed. I mean that too. Don't you put no words on this page. Not a word. I will find you and make you take the words off that page. And I'm sure Doug won't, because the page just works. That's the opening and you're already in. You already want to know why this dude is on fire, what's going on, is this the present, the past, foreshadowing. You're already piecing story together. Timothy Lim has outdone himself with this page, and with all the art that I've seen for the book. He's changed his style some. I see a little of Tetsuya Nomura in there and Jorge Jimenez. It's still obviously Tim, but it's got a more detailed look to it, especially with how he shaded the figures. And just in case you didn't think this man was awesome, he drew this on a tablet. Not a Wacom tablet, but an iPad. He's just that damn good. And so is Brett R. Smith. I continue to be impressed by this man's color work. Every time I see something new from him, he's upping his game. So there's no doubt this book is going to look awesome, but how will it read? Well, if you watched any of Doug Ernst's videos, and I suggest you do, it's going to read pretty damn well. Doug thinks about what he does, puts his full attention on it. He comes prepared. He's not playing around. If he's got something to say, he's thought about it, and that's the first step to being a good writer. He's put a lot of thought into Soulfinder Demon's Match. He built this world, fleshed it out, wrote the script, and then sent it to people with a proven track record of making solid comics, and a professor who is a geek, and apparently their only complaint was, tell me more. That's the problem you want to have, of building the world and holding back stuff because you don't want to put too much on the reader. You don't want to just create stuff without thinking about it, and then when people ask questions, you don't have answers. You know who you are. By having this world built out, Doug has so much room to play. We've got the special forces of exorcists. Ed Boyette came up with that perfect term for the soul finders. We've got these demons that have to be dealt with, and the soul finders we meet in the story deal with one in particular, but it immediately makes you wonder if there are other groups of soul finders who deal with specific demons as well. That's instant story. The same goes with having the requirement that potential candidates have to have military experience. It just gives you so much to work with just that little bit of information. And then Doug drills down to a character, Father Patrick Redder, with this tragic past of being burned, and then having this knowledge of demons and the occult, but ending up in this town in Maryland where he helps the local police deal with supernatural events, all while dealing with what happened to him during his military service. And then on top of that, he gets offered this position as a soul finder, and it's this clandestine group of special forces exorcists who have to go up against demons who will use people's tragic experiences against them. So this page here, that's what a demon is going to make Redder relive as he's trying to defeat it. And that's what I really like about this concept, is that it's getting into that murkier, darker side of storytelling. It's delving into those deeper issues, and those are the types of stories that pull me in. Doug's bringing in some of his faith into the story because obviously this is a religious themed story, but it's really touching on those thematic elements that are universal. So I don't think anybody's going to have a problem enjoying this. Like I said, Doug thinks about what he's doing. Even the presentation from the artist he worked with to having the book basically done before he launched the campaign shows that. And this will be an interesting read because Doug doesn't have a background in comics, so he's pulling from his love of the medium and his journalist background. One of my favorite authors, David Gemmell, had a similar thing going, and I get kind of a Gemmell mixed with Jim Butcher vibe from Doug, so this could be very interesting. I think the book is going to be awesome. I like the more serious tone, I like the blend of the military and religious elements, I like that the villains are these ridiculously powerful demons, I like that Doug's tackling a legitimate theological question: why do bad things happen to good people? I don't really know where he's going with that, but I want to find out, so he's got my support. I'm backing this book, and I hope you guys do too. He's already funded. That's how much support he's already gotten. Just a few days, mostly from his subs and his Twitter followers and a handful of live streams. Fully funded. He asked for 10 grand, he's got 10 grand. But I think we can get him more than just fully funded. Let's help him out because this is a solid concept. It's so good that if he pitched this to Dark Horse or Dynamite or Vertigo back in the day, they'd just snatch this right up. That's how solid this idea is. So please go and get Soulfinder Demons Match. This is going to be worth your money. I highly, highly, highly doubt you're going to be disappointed.